Hi, welcome to Game Creation, and this week we're going to be doing exactly the same as we did last week, but with Clickteam. So we're going to do the same project, and it's actually going to be quite interesting to see the differences between JavaScript and Clickteam. If you didn't watch last week's videos, then it's not going to be a problem, because we are essentially going to be starting from scratch. But if you did watch last week, then you can see the comparisons about how JavaScript and how Clickteam do things differently. Without further ado, let's get started. So I've opened up a brand new project and I've called it Snake, and we're just going to be using the same project through this week. And we're going to start off by just configuring it. It's just all on the single frame, and we're going to make the size exactly the same as we had last week, which I just need to look up. Was it 500 by 300? Which is tiny. So if I just run that now, oh, that's all right. I'll cope with that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to create our array. So we actually need to go back to the level editor and we need to create an array. There we go. It's a nice array. We don't need to worry too much about the dimensions, but we do want it as a number array because everything's going to be stored as a number. And we're going to have the setup for the array, and we're going to do that by loops. So start loop, create array x, and let's just quickly look up. I think it's 20, yeah, 20 times, because we want 20 going across, and then on loop. And we're going to do a nested loop, so we're going to do exactly the same thing again, but for y. And I think there's 12. Let's just look this up. Yep, 12 going down. Okay, and then on loop with the y. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to be writing to the array, and we're not actually going to use the z component. We're only going to be using the x and the y, and it's value, not string, because we're just going to be putting numbers into the array. And we put zeros in just to set the array up. The x index is the fast loop index for create array x, and the y index is the fast loop index, or the loop index for the y. Excellent. So now we've got that array sorted, which is brilliant. The next thing we do is write something to an array. So let's just start a frame, and we're going to write a value to xy, and we're going to create the character, and we create them at index 3, 5. And I always double check here that the array is 0 based, which it's not. It's 1 based at the moment, so I'm just going to change that to 0 based, because I'm just used to using 0 based. It doesn't actually matter as long as you remember in your project whether it's 1 or 0. Just I would recommend to always put them as the same. So if you're going to go for 0 based across your project, then fine. If you're going to go for 1 based, that's fine. Just remember to be consistent, to make sure all your arrays are the same, just otherwise you're always looking them up. Okay, so if we run it now, that won't do anything because we haven't actually displayed anything. So we need to actually create some tiles. So we'll just get an active, double click on it, Control and A to highlight all of it and delete. And I'm just going to make it black, which I thought it was black, it's red. Now our tiles could be 25 by 25. So 25 by 25. And I'm going to put all hotspots, as you know by now. I'm going to put everything at the top left, just it makes the maths easier. Okay, I'm going to go back here. Now we need to do this same array again, this same kind of fast loop process again, but this time we're actually going to be displaying where the tile is. And unfortunately I'm going to do a start of loop now, but I won't eventually. And I'm going to change these words, so instead of create array, we're going to display. we have display X and display Y, because why not? I'm just going to drag these down. And I'm just going to drag them individually so that I remember to change everything. Okay, this time we're going to be creating these pieces. So we'll create the object active, and it doesn't matter where we put it, just put it out of screen because we're going to move it straight afterwards. Okay, so the position will be on the fast loop index for display X. And then we're timesing that by 25 because we want it, so if it's 2 tiles along, we want it 50 along from the left. Actually, I might just copy all of that because we can use that in our position for Y. And then just change this to Y. Now there is a couple of problems here. This will display black for all of them. So if I just run it now, it will all turn black. And we've got some border around the outside here. So we can get rid of that border or just leave it, it's fine. It won't be fine later on because the player won't know where the edge of the screen is, so we'll need to sort that out later. So we need to check the array. So there needs to be a part in here that checks the array. Let's just copy the fast loop index. So insert a condition, and you've got to do this with compare to general. And we just go read the value from the XY position. And fast loop, get loop index for display X. And then get the Y offset as display Y. I don't know why it does a new line, but there we go. And it's going to be, oh hang on, fast loop index, whoops. We want the loop index for Y. And if it's different to 0, because 0 means there's nothing there, and 1 means the player's there, and minus, as we know later on, will mean food. So let's just run that now, and there we are. That's where the player starts. If I refresh, the player always starts there. Brilliant. Okay, let's try and sort out the border. So we want the background color. So I've clicked on frame, and we're going to change the background color to something else. So I'll change it to black. And so when we run it now, you can easily see. Oh no, you can't. That's the background color. That's not very sensible. We want the frame background. Now I'm not 100% sure where this is. I think it's that one. There we are. So we want this one to be black. So that's on the actual project, and you do border color for the window. There we go. So you can clearly see that that's the edge of the screen now, and that's where the player is. And it doesn't matter if you maximize it, it'll always be that way. Brilliant. Okay. And we're going to just save it, and we're going to stop there for today. And in tomorrow's video, we're going to be moving the player, which will be exciting. So I shall see you then. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to see more from us, please click subscribe. We release videos every single weekday at 7 PM UK time. Thank you.